Hey guys, it's Tom Box. Welcome to MST.TV, and by your request, we are doing a June 2020 damage report on the ban list. Not much of a ban list, really, because it's more like unbanning some stuff, but like in all MST.TV fashion of all our damage report, we're going to be going over some winners, some losers, and some top tier potential. I guess for winners, it's more or less survivors, because they didn't get touched. Anyways, let's start off with a quick review of the ban list and just move right into the damage report. And that layout isn't gonna do it justice. Ah yes, and this looks about right. Okay, so let's load in the list. For banned cards, nothing. For limited cards, nothing. For semi-limited cards, nothing. And for release cards, we have Necros, Arena Core, Ritual Beast, Ulti Hawk, both of which are from the Secret Forces. And then we also have Altergeist Multi-Faker to 3. That's it. That's the entire list. If you guys don't believe me, go check out the site yourself. At first I thought it was a joke, but apparently not. In my ban list prediction, I talked about like they have a chance of just not hitting anything, and it seems like that's the direction that they're going. They're going to move forward without affecting buyers' confidence in their products, so their product's lifespan has not started ticking yet. And this also means they're not recognizing any of the online tournaments as anything official that they would tune their game for. So there's that. So if anything, moving forward, you can keep that in mind when buying products in the future. Okay, so now it's time to shift gears into the damage report. Now in this damage report, there are winners and there are losers, but who are the losers? And the first loser is Jimmy's Wallet. Now, Jimmy is a hype train vendor, and he went from a hype train to a train wreck in a matter of seconds. Jimmy believed that Konami would care about these online tournaments, and thus, in his vendor build, he decided to drop hundreds of copies of Adamancipator Researcher at 40 apiece. Man, it's such a strong deck, but what an idiot. That kind of combo doesn't have any sort of recovery, financial recovery, resulting him in a $1,000 in this combo. Furthermore, the misplays continue as he proceeds to buy out maxis at 12 each for common copies. Now, anyone thinking that maxis would ever come back deserves to take this kind of direct damage, but don't at me. Now, the damage does not stop there. Oh no. He slept through the banlist announcement, leaving his Ulti Hawks and his Unicorns at pennies to the dollar. Just couldn't cancel his listings on time, so he's gonna have to honor it or be blacklisted as a scammer. Now, with the banlist triple combo, Jimmy's Wallet is no longer playable in this meta. So in terms of gains and losses, the only losses out there would be the number of researchers, Hawks, and Unicorns in his collection. But he did gain 100 copy of maxis, which he's also letting go back into the market at 5 each. Ooh, that seems like a major loss. Now the buyout combo is extremely risky, and it definitely did not pay off this time. But sometimes it pays off. Who knows? Are you that lucky? Are you that skilled? Anyways, we have actually one more damage report to go through, which is Altergeist. This is an absolute nightmare situation for Altergeist players. It is a known fact that Altergeist players running 3 multi-fakers cannot top a single YCS. Multi-faker was only viable when the other 2 copies lend all its powers into the last remaining one. And now it's split back among the 3 copies so that each copy only has a third of its topping power. Basically what that means is that 1 copy of Imperm could probably just negate all 3 copies of Multi-Faker, so if one gets negated, the other 2 becomes dead draws in the deck. This is an absolute nerf for the deck, but Altergeist players are probably going to argue that it boosts consistency. Yeah, adding 2 Garnets into a deck definitely boosts consistency, the consistency to brick. But regardless of what we say, they're probably going to put in the multi-fakers anyway, but to keep the deck at a consistent 40, they're going to have to cut stuff out. It seems like just raw draw power isn't needed anymore, so they're probably going to cut out some Pot of Extravagance just so that they can fit in the additional multi-faker. So -2 on the Pot of Extravagance and +2 to the multi-faker, although they are still at 1/3 of the power. Now looking at, is this worth it? I mean, they're adding in 2 copies of multi-faker at the chance of topping a YCS. Would you trade that in, or would you stick with the 1 copy? Let me know down in the comment section. Okay, moving on. Let's look at some of the survivors and some of the losers. For this survivor list, of course, VFD is still around, probably gonna still dominate the format so that you can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! But I don't know, maybe there's a big trial date coming for a lot of these monsters. They're just waiting to actually get into the ban list. They just need to get their sentencing done. And then there is Block Dragon. Everyone expected this Lego monstrosity to go to the Shadow Realm, but nope, it's still here. Gonna search 3 while you can't do anything about it. Jet Synchron and by affiliation, Christian Hawk Clifferbacks also still surviving. Well, Christian Hawk Clifferbacks, the trial date for this one is not going to be happening anytime soon, so this one's not going to get banned. As for our losers, now this time we have to look outside in, and we're going to look into the Shadow Realm, and Denlong is still still wrong, still banned. And there's also Pantheism, your Monarchs and True Draco, both of you guys aren't coming back. Seems like that's not the kind of control that we're looking for. And Skullcrobat Joker. In fact, most of the Pendulum cards, whether it be Perform Mages, I guess Performa Pals, you guys name it, these guys are still on the ban list, and they're the ones that get to watch Unicorn walk out the door. They got to watch Alti-Canahawk, finally go on probation. No, this is a full release, and Multi-Faker's back, so these guys are still stuck in jail. Okay, now we go into the potential list, although this is not really potential because a lot of this stuff is proven, but for potential, we'll include some stuff in the future and some stuff that we just got from Eternity Code just to kind of balance out this list. Starting with the top tier proven stuff, we have Eldritch and Adamancipator. Eldritch, whether it be a Synchro Eldritch, Pure Eldritch, or any of the other variants, Eldritch is up there to stay for now until Golden Boy finally gets mined out and gets smelted. Then we have Adamancipators. Excavating this stuff is still good because we still have Block Dragon, and with Block Dragon still available, this deck will still be able to search 3 cards, fulfilling the prophecy of just endless resources altogether. Both of these, you have the gemstones and you have the gold. And for anything following with more gemstones and more stone related content, we have dinosaurs. These fossils are still around, and with Archosaur being added into the combo, I find that they are very difficult to handle when they get their combo up. With one miscellaneous source, your hand traps are all turned off. You have to play the board breaker game. But the board breaker game isn't easy to play if they finish with a Quatless and a VFD, because now you can't use anything. Even if you use Dark Ruler no more, you would have been VFD'd already. And if you try to hit them with anything else, try to negate it ahead of time, Quatless would have negated the negation with the Imperm. So it's just a really awkward situation overall, making things very, very difficult. Now, additional potentials, I've included stuff from Rise of the Duelist. Dragma's proven in OCG. It's really powerful. Invoke Dragma, and we can look forward to maybe seeing even Necroz Dragma. And I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that, getting my entire extra deck kind of shut out, because Dragma, they counter the extra deck, and it seems like a lot more archetype are focused on countering said extra deck, and Dragma is one of those. And you can even play with your own extra deck, start with that, and then end with the countering of the extra deck. It's just a kind of a weird situation, but it's a very, very powerful deck in the future. If you're gonna be planning to play in the future, that's a potential angle you might go for. Infernoble Knights, can't wait for that structure deck to come out, guys. Where's the structure deck? Well, Machina structure deck already came out. The one before was supposed to be Warrior, but it didn't come out. In fact, it got put into Toon Chaos, so make sure you guys watch that Toon Chaos video. It goes over everything, including all the Chaos cards, all their effects, basically a full breakdown in a bite-sized chunk so that you guys can absorb all the knowledge without reading, I don't know, thousands and thousands of words, basically a whole essay worth of stuff. But yes, Infernobles, they're really powerful and they can stop Nibiru. So a lot of the top tier potential stuff, they are able to bypass what Nibiru has to offer. And that's what makes them so good. Now into the high tier potential, we have Orcus, we have Atlanteans or Mermails, Invoke Shaddols, Sky Strikers, Madolche, and Rockets and Salamangre. A ton of decks available for us to play. A lot of these decks, once they execute their combo, it's fairly difficult to actually stop them. But before they get to their combo execution, they can get hit by counterplay, which is why they're not top tier. But Orcus, they can set up their Dingirzu lock with the Buster Dragon Sword. Oh yeah, that's actually one of the cards that completely dodged the ban list as well, but then again, it was getting a reprint, so it was never to be mentioned. But yeah, Girzu is still really, really powerful. So with a Girzu combo start, you can go into Lib, the World Key Blade Master, and you can do your funky combos from there. Overall, you can lock people out with the Buster Sword, so it's still pretty good. not that bad, but it's a little bit easier to play around, and with Eldritch, it's just easy to send stuff to the graveyard in general. So that's why it's not the best of the best. And the disruption is rather easy with Eldritch, since you're popping out cards now. Now for Mermails, if you're able to execute your full combo, and maybe you're able to drop, say, a Toad before the Nibiru can happen to you, then yeah, you're good to go. And not only that, you can also rip out the Nibiru from the hand using the Artisan, so it's still a very powerful deck, very flexible. And Moulin Glacier didn't get touched, so hand looping is still going to be part of our gameplay for now. As for Shaddoll Invoked, nothing really changed with them, so they're sticking around. Sky Striker, Ryan Yu proved that Sky Striker can still play with the best of them, so Sky Strikers are still around. But Dolce also hit top 8 recently, and from my experience playing against Madolche and playing with Madolche is one of those decks that once they break your board, they will OTK you, and if you cannot negate all their monsters, prepare to get your entire deck spun back, well, your entire hand or your entire field spun back into the deck. It just feels really awkward, and you're gonna take AK to the face because Madolche monsters aren't very, well, they're not small. Then there's Rockets. Rockets' highest potential is going to be coming from Toon Chaos, because there's the Chaos Creator and Chaos Space, which gives them a lot of access to the White and Black Dragons. In fact, White and Black Dragon is probably going to be a banless contender in the near future, thanks to those cards. Being searchable and being recyclable. It went down to 1 for the reason that it was so cyclable, and it seems like we can cycle them again. So I don't know. I don't know how the world is going to feel about that. Salamander, it's Salamander. They have 1 card OTKs, especially with Axis Code Talker. That definitely shifts them up into a very scary territory. And although they can't really pop as many cards, they can technically do it. Of course, if they do the whole Update Jammer Axis Code Talker punch, it's about 10k to the face. But they can't really survive Nibiru, so that's fine. That's okay. In terms of hidden potential, these are some of the decks that I think some people are really trying to hype up. There's Necros. Necros is very powerful, and Necros is going to shift up the game, and I'm not like too surprised about it. Unicorn is going to make it hard for any of the decks requiring the extra deck to play. Like if you're trying to play Orcus, you have to play without your extra deck while that card is up. So in other words, you have to find some way to beat over it, which isn't too hard. But if they pair this with a Clausulus, now you can't really punch over it. So there's that balance. If you don't have anything in your main deck to handle it, it's going to be very difficult. It's really good against the Adamantimators, for sure. Especially if you leave a Unicorn on the field. Like, it's very difficult to leave a Unicorn on the field because once you get rid of it, it's gone, and you have to spend more resources to bring it back. Now you have multiple copies, so you can actually cycle using its effect, cycle more of your Necros cards on top of that. And so you might see some of the Adamantimator players start to put in Tackle Crusaders to kind of book it face down. So that's some potential there. I don't know about Mermails. Mermails can probably pop it because they rely on the main deck more than anything. Sky Strikers probably can negate it with some of the Widow Anchors, the Imperms. But the thing is, in this day and age of Yu-Gi-Oh, you have Dark Ruler No More, you have Impermanence, you have just a ton of cards that just turn off the Unicorn so that you can continue playing. And it seems like a lot of the decks that just build giant boards, you just do the same way you would negate it in any other situation. Heroes, you guys got new Mask Heroes or easier access to Mask Heroes, but again, you don't really have any interaction against your opponent when you're going like first. So you're going second deck, and if you can't kill them, leaving a board, your board presence isn't exactly the best out there. Necroface decks, they're just going to stick around because they're just really good, and they're just not part of the meta. They play with their own tempo, and they can slow you down, or if you make a mistake, you might get hit by a copy of Infernal Tempest. That sucks. Then there's Generators. I'm not going to kind of discount them just yet, but you know, with Gearzu, they have really easy combos that could just get Monstrosity fairly quickly. And then they can set up their negates, they're banished, they have a lot of disruption, but of course they suffer the issue of bricking if they draw too much of their level 9s. And that's going to be an iffy situation. And finally, the last one here that's probably in the hidden potential would be Fluffles. Freyfer. Scythe is a scary card. Scythe into Whale. Whale being able to pop your 2 of your cards. Think about it this way. It's a fusion spell in their hand that functions as a hand trap to pop 2 cards. It's hard to negate, it's hard to predict, and they have really effective timing to disrupt any level of combo, which is why I'm leaving the Fluffles up here. It's And they have like high OTK potential as well. And since they're in Master Rule 5 now, they don't really have to care about their zoning as much. The reason why Fluffles kind of fell out of favor is because zoning was a problem. Well, that's all I got for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this casual damage report. I don't know what else I could actually report on that you guys didn't already know. So hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun on the reporting side. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you guys want to see more stuff from MST.TV, hit the subscribe, ding notification bell. I guess this is kind of a bonus video. I wasn't actually going to make this one because, well, you guys requested it, and I always like to comply with you guys since you guys are so awesome and you guys helped me get to 60K now. So thank you guys, really appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more remote duel stuff, and I have to write a lot for that because I was asked to do it by Konami. So I am going to do my best and deliver on that. So anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.